welcome to Vlogmas. Today's Wednesday the 20th of December, and to be honest it feels like we've been opening those advent calendars far too quickly. Cannot believe that we're just 5 days away from Christmas 2017. So in tonight's Vlogmas we're going to jump straight in, and I am bringing to you a franchise that should be quite well known in the sci-fi world. It's a horror sci-fi franchise, and it links in with yesterday's Vlogmas and the Aliens, and you might have guessed straight away, tonight I am bringing you the Predator franchise. And in particular I'm going to talk about the first film, but on the whole I'm talking about the Predators themselves. So in 1987 the Predator came to our screens, and it was starred Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I believe the film was called Schwarzenegger's Predator. I just see it as Predator, but that's what it's listed as here. A quick idea of what the film was about is an elite special forces team was sent into a rescue mission in a jungle area. Can't quite remember where it was, but it was in the jungle. They were there to rescue some diplomats that had been kidnapped or whatever, held by guerrillas. But as they get into the area, they suddenly realise something's going very wrong, and bodies start turning up. But these aren't just bodies that have been, well, killed or anything like that. They find corpses that have been skinned and they're hung up in trees. And it sort of defies human logic of how you would get a skinned human body up in a tree. As they move along, they know something's stalking them. There's a force after them, and it starts playing tricks with them and winding them up, basically. And as we move into the film, the Predator starts hunting the Marines and picking them off one by one. Pretty much the film ends up in a standoff between Schwarzenegger himself and the Predator, and Arnie actually manages to defeat the Predator, but the Predator in its battle with him actually mocks him at the end, and so the humans can't steal the Predator's technology. He self-destructs himself, basically. We've had quite a few Predator films over the years. We've had Predator 2 in 1990. We've then had the crossover with the Alien franchise. We had Aliens vs Predator in 2004 and Aliens vs Predator Requiem in 2007. We then had the Predators film, the reboot in 2010, that basically brought the franchise fresh. And I've got to be honest, the latter film is a fantastic film, and I think it moved with the times, and it brought us a new look into the Predators, and we found out there were different classes of Predator, slightly different ones, and I'll come more to the Predators in a minute. And to be honest, a lot of you may think, and I may think myself, really we should concentrate on that film, but to be fair, without the original, without the Arnie film and the other characters, the Predator would not have been born. And to me, we have to look back to the original, because this is what born the Predator. So what is a Predator? A Predator is an alien life form from another part of the universe, the galaxy. It's got highly sophisticated technology. It's travelled to many, many worlds, as we believe it's been alive for millennia. It's basically a hunter, but a hunter with honour, and I'll come to this in a minute. It hunts and preys on people that it thinks would be a worthy opponent, and quite often the Predators kill their opponent, and they like to use corpses, teeth, bones, all sorts, well, I don't know whether they use the skins, but they take the skins as trophies from the hunt. They use a vast array of weaponry. They use all sorts, some like laser pulse cannons, a lot of them like hand weapons, shurikens, blades, different swords, different staffs, spears. They use claws on their arms. They've got body armour. They've got so many weapons. I'm not actually going to try and go into them tonight. But they're also, as I said earlier, they've got their own code that when they're on the hunt they work to. And if they feel an adversary is outgunned, they will drop down their sophisticated weapons and fight hand to hand. They will take their adversary on at a level they deem acceptable. And it would be dishonourable to use a more powerful weapon over their adversary. And I just want to come into this about the Predator's Code, because this is what drew me to the Predators. This is what intrigued me. This is what basically got me fascinated with them. They are a very highly intelligent, high technology, sophisticated hunter. This is their game. This is what they do. This is what they live for. But they work by such a code. And I'm just going to pop this down a minute and grab my phone. And I want to read from this, because I don't want to get this wrong. I don't want to dishonour the Predators, because that would be an injustice. Now, looking online, I've basically found out that the Predators are called Yucha. I don't even know if I pronounced that right. Please tell me if I've got that wrong. And to break the code is to stop being a true Yujuta, and such digressions typically result in the individual responsible being killed without remorse, although in some cases transgressors will be merely excommunicated from their clan and summarily banished from all civilised Yujuta society. And this is just a very quick overview. One of the first rules in their code: hunting worthy game. So when hunting, the hunter must be sure that his prey is considered game and lawful to kill. Sometimes a hunter will equal the odds not using a plasma cannon or some similar ranged weapon, and worthy game must fill the following criteria: that it can defend itself, is able to kill the hunter himself, is of age, i.e. killing children and the elderly is considered the height of bad manners, and they're not linked to other lives, so that removing the prey will not doom another, example, pregnant woman, or not weakened by disease. Should the predator fail in the hunt, it's usually he will take his own life, preferring to die in honour than to live in shame. You can't claim the kill of another hunter. To take the trophy of another predator, living or dead, is considered to be a great insult. Then there's the murder of another predator. To kill another predator intentionally, and this excludes self-defence and the killing a foe in a wrestling match to settle a dispute. Murder is the worst crime. If you're going to settle a dispute and the other person dies, that's honourable, but you can't murder another predator. Another rule of their code is that they can never harm the innocent. When the predator is hunting for food, they must only take the weak, and this is to make sure that the species line stays purified. And wounded game, when coming up on game wounded by another hunter and the prey is dying without sport, they show honour to another's kill, and if the game still shows sport, it is to be a joint trophy. Do not join another predator's hunt or hunt in their territory without their permission. All trophies taken in this manner are stolen trophies and shall be dealt with by the rightful owner. And mercy: those who defeat you in fair hunts or are victorious in more dangerous hunts and show you mercy are to be considered equals. You must either kill them and yourself or bestow them with a reward. And code violations, there's basically any predators that break the code are considered renegades and no longer considered to be a predator. And if you encounter those predators, they are to be destroyed. And one of the last parts of the rule here is to never harm or kill offspring. So predators are known to have a very strict law on the killing of those pregnant with infants and those who are sick. Usually when they hunt and encounter both, the predator is to let them live. The only exception to the rule is if any prey pose a threat. And that's basically the end of all the rules. Not that you want to go up against a predator, because they are mean, ugly creatures. And they are very strong. They have super strength, far stronger than a human. They have such armour, and I wouldn't like to go up against one, put it that way. I did have, I do have a predator figure, and I would have liked to put it on tonight as a prop, but that's up in storage, and I just haven't had time to sort it out and get that out, but maybe I'll show that in a future show. One thing I've not talked about in the Predator franchise tonight is the sounds it makes. They're absolutely iconic, and you hear that sound, you know you're in trouble. And just bringing back about the Predator's weaponry, they can also cloak, so they can hunt you in stealth. If you look hard enough, you can see like a distorted image to the background, and they can be seen moving. But if you wasn't looking for it, you wouldn't even notice things following you. So, tonight I brought you the Predator franchise, and this has been Vlogmas on Wednesday 20th of December. With only 5 more days to go, I will see you in the next one.